this next scene is super long. I'm not gonna show the entire thing, but there are a couple of parts that are important to acknowledge going forward with the love triangle. But I will walk you through the beginning of this scene. I think there's some interesting information that we as the audience can pick up on. So Helen showed up at Elizabeth's house. She was surprised, and this was after Lucas told Elizabeth that he found out about the secret. This is funny. She sat on top of a toy block. And Elizabeth like, oops. And this part, I don't know if it makes sense to you, but I feel like Helen and Elizabeth have different parenting style. For what we know so far and heard from Lucas about his mom, is like Helen had this like tough love, if that makes sense. And Elizabeth is more gentle, more open-hearted, more giving. Not trying to talk bad about Helen, but I just, from this moment in this scene, I just sense like there's a different parenting style between Helen and Elizabeth. And one more thing, this one,
Hello.
she looked at that Mountie toy, and she automatically thinks it's from Nathan, which I cannot blame her 100%.
Constable Grant?
A Mountie, my late husband.
Yes, I believe Lucas mentioned.
Yeah, so it's like, it's not automatically represent Nathan. Like, that Mountie toy represent little Jack's father. I thought there was a bit interesting moment there.
If your husband doesn't love you for exactly who you are, then that isn't love. And perhaps he doesn't deserve you. But if you're unsure whether you've shown each other your true hearts, then you may want to try again. Love needs to be nurtured and cared for. True love is always worth fighting for. It never gives up. But you may need to be the one to reach out first. In hope.
That is such a great advice from Elizabeth to Helen. That's like the major part of the scene that I wanted to focus on. It's a great advice, fun to fun, and it's really nice Helen acknowledges Elizabeth as a friend by the end of this scene. But what really caught my attention was when she told Helen, maybe you should be the one to reach out first. And I'm like, okay, you and Lucas, like, what is going on? Because the last time Lucas and Elizabeth ever talk about their feeling is when Lucas told Elizabeth that whatever she decides, he just wants her to be happy. So Lucas right now is just so clouded with what's going on with his parents, and like in his friendship too with Elizabeth, like he feel broken because Elizabeth didn't tell him. But the third thing is, though, Lucas should know where Elizabeth stands as in the friendship. If Elizabeth will pick Lucas, or if she did pick Nathan. Lucas does not know yet that Elizabeth talked to Nathan in private and told him no. So I was like, Elizabeth, you should be the one to reach out first to Lucas and tell him how you feel, and just don't keep him in the dark too long. Like, you already said no to Nathan. Like, it's time to make your decision if you want to be with Lucas. And love is important. Like, love should be nurtured, love should be cared. True love is worth fighting for. It does not give up. And I'm like, okay, is she actually giving herself the advice too at the same time she give it to Helen? So Lucas and Elizabeth is just on a broken term right now. Is she really feeling true love for Lucas, and if she is falling for Lucas and do want to pursue a romantic relationship with him, she should go for it. She should fight for it, and she should be honest and open and confrontational with him. Like, she should just say it. So yeah, it's a great advice, but at the same time, I truly believe what Elizabeth said to Helen relate to Elizabeth, her situation with Lucas, and if she wants to be with him or not. Yeah, let me know what you think. But I thought there was a very important wisdom. But at the same time, I'm just like, that is like totally relatable to what you're going through, Elizabeth.
Lucas.
My mother was determined to catch the last stage off. She apologizes for having to leave in such a rush, and she promises to get in touch soon regarding your manuscript.
Okay, do you see how Lucas' back was facing Elizabeth? Like, he did not turn around to face her while talking. So you can see that he really did not want to talk to her, and he just wanted to be by himself in that moment. And he tried not to be rude and just like explain to her what happened, that his mom left earlier than expected, and that she gonna try to work it out with her husband.
Her family's never been very gracious about goodbyes.
She heading to San Francisco?
Home. Something's happened. Maybe she spoke with my father. I don't know. She says that she would like to reconcile with him.
And Elizabeth is just like very happy for Helen that she willing to fight for her marriage, and she just listened to Lucas as he explained things.
Wait.
Elizabeth, what upset me about not knowing my parents had separated wasn't just that you didn't tell me. It was that I thought that they loved each other.
The moment he said the last thing before walking off, that was when he finally turned around, but he just like walked off right after that. He didn't want to like look at her face, and he just like very disappointed.
Perhaps they did at a time. I don't know, Lucas, perhaps they still do.
How do you lose that?
I can only tell you what I told your mother. Love has to be fought for. And maybe she needed to be the one to reach out first.
Elizabeth just like trying to talk to him too, and I think this was like the moment, like if it went well, I think this would have been the moment where she fight for her relationship with Lucas and try to fix what's going on between them and try to go back on a good term with each other.
What would you know about it?
That was cruel.
Lucas is very heartbroken and sad about his parents' situation as well. And Elizabeth told him about fighting for love, in that she said the same thing to Helen about fighting for your lover and just to not give up on love. And Lucas said, like, I don't know if it's brutal honest or if she just like being rude. And he's like, how do you know that? Because he just like you did what you did, and you're telling me this wisdom about love and thinking that you know it all. And Elizabeth just like, how dare you say that? And it's just like wrong on both sides. Like I can understand Elizabeth. She's like, I know what love is, okay? Like, I experienced it with my husband, Jack, and unfortunately he died, okay? Like, I wanted him to live, be alive with me and little Jack, and like, how can you tell me that I do not know about love? But on the other hand, Lucas just like, you went behind my back, like, you didn't tell me, and I trusted you, and now you're telling me about this, like, wisdom about love, like, thinking and believing that you know it all about love, and you're telling me like what to do, like what it should be, like how, you know, it should be fit. So it's just like it's like stabbing each other in this moment. I think it's just a brutal honesty between the two, but at the same time it's just like the intensity of their disagreement is just like got higher. And like, I don't know, like I wouldn't say a fight, more like an argument, a debate. When I think of a fight, it's more like yelling at each other. I think this is just like an intense argument, an intense debate. Like, wait, you think you right, and you think you right, like back and forth, like, yeah, that was crazy. I forgot to film this, but just a quick last scene of this episode, the love triangle moment. Nathan, like, okay, where are we standing right now, like, in our friendship? Oh boy. Lucas feels bad about what happened, and her too. Different facial expressions she gave to these men. She's like, I need to get out of here. Let me know what you guys think about this scene. Very interesting. Let me know what you think of this episode. I mean, it's just like that last scene between Lucas and Elizabeth. It's just like another bombshell. Like, what did just happen? And yeah, it's just like the intensity of their disagreement just got higher and deeper. And I'm like, this is not good. But we'll see how they fix the disagreement. Again, like this is a great foreshadow of how they will resolve conflicts in their relationship if they do end up together. But yeah, let me know what you think of this scene, any scene in this episode. Feel free to comment below. It's just crazy, and I never seen Lucas like so I don't know what to call it, like spicy, you know, like it's just like, whoa dude, you just like the flame on top of his head, it just like got so high. But yeah, we'll see what happened next. I hope you still enjoying this. As always, been really fun to talk about these episodes. I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.